9 months of the DAMIT program were nothing less than a life experience. It is difficult, few short moments, to explain the true measure of our accomplishment. I will try to share a few of the essential insights we gained from this production. What is it about the Philippines that makes it different from the rest of the world? Well, for one thing, it is all about the culture. It is our culture that sets us apart from any other nation on the planet. Filipinos are very resilient. In times of calamities and catastrophes, Filipinos always manage to rise above the challenge. Instead of wallowing, they manage to pick themselves up and smile. Filipinos take pride in their families. It is family first. So whether you are part of the immediate family or belong to the third or fourth generation, you are treated as a family member. Even the closest of friends are considered family too. Filipinos are very respectful. From the moment they are born into this world, they are already taught how to be respectful by using the simple catchphrases, po and opo, words that end sentences when addressing elders. Filipinos help one another. It is called bayanihan. Filipinos help one another without expecting anything in return. Filipinos value traditions and culture. For Filipinos, traditions in their home and in their family are important. They usually set aside a specific day for a certain celebration like festivals, birthday parties, reunions, weddings, and of course, every gathering is dedicated to keeping up with each other over sumptuous food. Filipinos love to party. We love to eat and sing and play games. We love to dress up for fashion. Filipinos have the longest Christmas celebrations ever. Even as early as August, you can hear Christmas songs and jingles being played in the malls or in the restaurants in the Philippines. The mood becomes festive, with many people shopping and in good spirits. Christmas celebrations last until around the first or second week of January. I could not thank enough all of the families who participated, the technical crew and support, the talented cast, Artist Inc., SCFD, and our very own DAMIT committee for making this happen for us. Let us continue to make meaningful gift of culture. Together, we can ensure that arts and culture weather this difficult time and continue to connect us all in the future. From directing to filming, from editing and music, symbolism and plot development, the DAMIT production covers hundreds of the greatest works in cinema, combining history, technical knowledge, and the art of enjoyment. To explain this show will become the most treasured and entertaining work ever available to the public, and why the show will continue to amaze viewers for many years to come. Maligayang Pasko at maligayang bagong taon sa inyong lahat. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all of you. God bless.
questions we are asking of the costumes we'll be wearing.
The only remedy is to call our Lola Teresa, our dear loving grandma, right back in Manila.
The only remedy is to call our Lola Teresa, our dear loving grandma, right back in Manila.
I think Lola Teresa should give Moncario a chance.
I don't think so. Lola Pulding remains to be the best man for Lola Te.
Lola Polding is gone. I mean, maybe he's in heaven.
But his spirit could still be around, just watching Lola Te.
Lola Polding would understand if Lola Teresa were to fall in love with Moncario. I mean, it's her first love.
Yeah, but Moncario did something wrong, right?
But that's part of their past. Look, Moncario remained single throughout his life, waiting for Lola Teresa.
Stop it na nga po. We're supposed to talk about our cultural practices, not my love life.
That's the one thing that interests us more.
And besides, it's part of our cultural practice, right? The Pins love their stories.
Both Cario and Pulding courted your Lola Te. Both of them were fond of doing harana. They would visit the house of your Lola Te and they would sing love songs.
They both did it at the same time?
Maybe they had schedules. Lola Polding every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Moncario Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
I told you, Apo. I first fell in love with Cario before I met your Lolo Pulding.
The first time I laid my eyes on you, the stars appeared to shine my view. Then I felt a dagger in my heart. I realized I'm in love from the very start. I wish that it was meant to be. The one to occupy your heart is me, and I will give you everything, and we'll start a life that we have been wanting.
For no reason at all, Cario left our town. Since then, your Lola Te never heard anything about Cario.
I've learned to forgive and not forget. Still I've given you my love and no regrets. Yet in my lowest moment of despair, I met a boy, Poldito, he was there. When I was down, he gave a shoulder to cry on. He listened and he answered all my questions. He took me away from that place of sadness, and now my world with him shines with so much brightness.
I won't promise you the moon or all the flowers that may bloom. What I can promise with certainty is to love you with all honesty. I may not play the perfect part for you to love me so with all your heart, but I hope my little imperfect
imperfections is just what it takes to win your affection. I love you just the way you are, can't you see? And I love the person that you aspire to be. I will always love you with no reservations, 'cause I love you and all your perfect imperfections.
I love you just the way you are, can't you see? And I love the person that you aspire to be. I will always love you with no reservations, 'cause I love you and all your perfect imperfections. 'Cause I love you and all your perfect imperfections. I love you and all your perfect imperfections.
My parents prevented me from seeing you. They heard about your grandmother in the route, your Lola Teresa. At that time, she was the leader of the revolutionary forces that attacked the Spanish garrison, while my grandfather was a conspirator. He was killed when your Lola Teresa attacked the garrison. Since then, my family never had a good relationship with your family.
But Cario, you should have told me. You should have trusted that I would understand you.
But I never had the courage to tell you the real reason.
Since you left me, I learned to forget what happened. Until I met Puldito.
So you two never really had the chance to talk to one another?
Well, the last time that we saw each other was in a fashion show.
atin lang titikman ang kakaning latik na ating niluto ngayong araw na to. Ayan, tikman na po natin. Ano masasabi mo?
Napakasarap
Angel?
na.
Lima. Talaga nga nagimas ako, no? Dati kailangan talaga nga ipagayo. Perfect score. Ayan.
Hello there. How are you?
Hi. Hi.
Okay, so today we will be cooking some kakanin. In the Philippines, there are many kinds of rice cake. So probably you know a lot of them, and let's review these types of kakanin through a memory quiz. Are you ready?
Yes.
Sure. Okay, so here's the rule. I will show you the photo of the kakanin, and then there will be two choices, A or B. I will give you 10 seconds to answer the quiz, and you will just raise your placard there. After each correct answer, it'll tell you something about that kakanin. Okay, so let's have question number 1. Ready? Go! So guess this kakanin. I don't think we have to wait for 10 seconds to finish. Let's see what's the correct answer. And you are all correct. What we see now on screen is sapin-sapin, which originated from Abra. And it is a sticky kakanin that is vibrant with different sapins or layers. Each sheet, the purple sheet is flavored with purple yam, while the green layer, I don't see a green layer here, but sometimes they include a green layer, is flavored pandan, and the yellow layer is flavored langka. So let's move on to the next question. Are you ready, ladies?
Yes.
The kakanin, what's this? So Jay says it's A, Malu says it's B, and Sheila says it's B. Okay, let's find out. It is patupat. It is a specialty from the northern part of the country. It's common in La Union, Isabela, Pangasinan, and Ilocos. Depending on the location, it can be wrapped in coconut leaves or buri bags. And the entire pouch is cooked in sugarcane juice. And it is called sinambong in Tagalog. So this is a snack that is usually prepared during the summer when the sugar canes are harvested. Okay? Ladies, are you ready with the next item?
Yes.
Yes. So our next item is, okay, guess the kakanin.
Oh my.
So Jay says it's B, Malu says it's A, Sheila says it's B. Is it B or sinukmane? Let's see. It's both.
I knew it.
All of you are correct. Yes. Just like patupat, it's made of glutinous rice. Biko is also called sinukmani in other places in the Philippines. So it's made of malagkit, cooked with coconut milk or gata, and it's topped with ground roasted peanuts, or sometimes it's latik or ground roasted coconut milk, and it is placed over banana leaves in a bilao. It's a staple food during fiestas, weddings, and birthdays. The secret is to make it sticky. No? To make it sticky, you need brown sugar. That brown sugar is boiled with the rest of the ingredients to form the thick and distinct nutty sweetness. So let's move to the next item. All right, guess the kakanin. What is this?
God, I never heard of those anyway.
Malu
I'm
says
guessing.
I'll go with A. I want to cheat. I want to go with
and Jay
Malu and
says
Sheila.
it's
Right?
Okay.
It's stupid.
Okay.
Tum-tum. Malu, how do you say this? In tum-tum?
Yes, in tum-tum.
In tum-tum. No? So what is tupig? It is a popular native delicacy from Pangasinan, where Malu comes from, and is made out of ground, slightly fermented, soaked glutinous rice. Then, after fermenting it, you wrap it in banana leaves, then cook it over charcoal. It's a popular street food and is famous during the Christmas and New Year season. Right, next. Okay, what's this?
I know this.
Sheila, is this your favorite?
Okay,
One
I'm
of.
gonna go.
One
I'm
of.
gonna cheat again. I never heard of this before. So I'm gonna go with A.
My
Oh,
Lola
this
won't be happy with me.
because it's actually both.
Oh, it's the same.
It's again made of glutinous rice that is mixed with fried mungo beans with coconut milk and sugar, of course. And is usually served as an afternoon snack. And of course, best served warm.
Oh my.
Okay, what
Hard.
is the name of these kakanin?
Oh my gosh.
Never.
This is-
I'm
Heard of it
guessing.
before.
Oh, I'll guess
Yeah.
too. Okay, I'll go with, since you guessed B, I'll guess A. We have different answers, Sheila. And then
Gosh.
Ate J has to choose
Okay,
now.
hold on. I'm gonna guess two. Just to be
Answer
safe.
is Dendelo.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
what is
Because
it?
it's an Isabela delicacy and then their own version of suman. It's again made from glutinous rice flour, so it's very fine, wrapped in banana leaves and topped with thick sweet sauce. So it's served usually during the Holy Week because the devout Christians would do fasting and just eat binalay. Ilagueños or people from Ilagan, Isabela, regard the food as a representation of the body and blood of Christ.
Wow.
Okay, I think that's the last item in our quiz. How many correct answers did you get in our quiz? Did you count?
I lost.
I think I missed the last one.
That's the last one. How about you, Jay?
I'm not sure. I kind of cheated a little bit.
How about
But
you,
I think I
Malu?
missed one.
Well, I guess one, but I made it, so I got everything right. Fortunately.
Our scorekeeper says that Jay got 4 correct answers, Malu got 4, and Sheila got 4. So it's time.
Yay, we are winners.
Anyway, it doesn't matter, but what matters is you're here with us, and I know that you prepared some kakanin. And I'd like you to tell something about it. How did you prepare it? Sheila,
Yeah. All right.
what do you
Well,
have
this
there?
is one of the questions. It's sinukmani.
Uh-huh.
I know. I use light brown sugar. I remember we would sit with her in our backyard. We have a well with like a covered area where they do laundry and also where we used to do outdoor cooking with firewood. And my Lola would make kakanin from scratch, like everything from scratch. Suman, puto, bibingka, and sinukmani. So we would be there helping her out, and she would actually grate the coconut even herself using the kudkuran. So she would cook that outdoors, and we would, it's like our bonding time with Lola, and it sure brings great memories. And I had to ask my mom for the recipe so I can make it for this webisode.
Sheila, thank you. How about you, Jay? What do we have there?
So I made some bibingka galapong. Yeah, this is how it looks like.
Yeah.
And then what I usually do is I top it off with fresh
Grated.
coconut,
Yeah.
grated coconut, and then I heat it up for about 30 seconds. I picked this because it reminds me of the holidays in the Philippines, especially Christmas. It reminds me of after Simbang Gabi, there's usually like people on the streets, as you come out of the church, there's like vendors on the side of the streets, and they will have different kinds of snacks. One of my favorite is bibingka. I just love it because it's like pancake, but it's thicker than pancake, and it's got more texture to it. So Al loves it, the grandkids loves it, and I usually serve it with green tea. This is one of my favorite snack, or my favorite kakanin, because it reminds me of Christmas in the Philippines.
Okay. Thank you for sharing your bibingka, Jay, with us.
You're welcome. I wish that you can taste it.
Yeah.
It's really, really good.
Thank you. How about you, Malu?
So I actually made puto since I'm inspired by the Kalashao puto, and of course they are steamed rice cakes made from fermented rice or galapong. As you can see, what I did was, so this is the plain one. You can also be creative. You can put cheese on it, which I did one here. Puto Kalashao brings me a lot of memories of my childhood days way back in the Philippines. I remember my mom usually bring puto as pasalubong. I always see puto as part of a very important part of the dessert occasions like fiestas, as you can see, Santa Cruzan, any parties, and we have a lot of that, right, in the Philippines. The good thing with this too is the difference is that it is bite-sized, it's easy to eat, and it has that distinct, delicious flavor that makes you eat more. Once you get one, then you want to eat more and more. So that's why I love puto.
So thank you. So let's listen to the story of Professor J.J. Meneses from Los Baños, Laguna, on his recreation of making sumang yapos. Sir Jay, kasi nung isang araw nakita ko yung post mo sa Facebook, no? Nagluto ka ng suman, tapos meron kang ikinwento tungkol sa suman na yon. So may parang pambihirang kwento ang pagsusuman na ginawa ni Sir JJ sa panahon ng Undras. Ano ba yon?
Ano kasi, ngayon kasi nakatira ako sa old house. When I say old house, ito yung bahay ng lola ko pa. So simulat nung kahit maliit pa ako, yung lola ko gumagawa na talaga ng suman. And then na-handed down na to sa mami ko, sa nanay ko. Tapos nung mga last few years na ni mami, she passed away 2017, ang gumagawa na lang yung kapatid ko. Pero with the help of my mom, assistance lang kasi medyo hindi na kaya ni mami. Pero nagpunta ng Amerika yung sister ko, so saka yung isang pamangkin kong babae, gumagawa rin siya. Pero nawala sila, ako, malay ko ba dyan, di ba? So I never dared to try it. Kaya kapag nag-uundras, especially when mom passed away after noong 2017-18, ang ginagawa ko, bumibili na lang ako ng luto na sa palengke, ino-order ko. Pero this year, iba yung nangyari. Parang sabi ng pamangkin ko, Tito J, gawa tayo ng suman. Sabi ko, ayoko, ang hirap kayanan. Hindi, gawa tayo, sige. So, we tried it this year.
So, Sir Jay, pamangkin mo ang nagkulit sa'yo na maggawa kayo ng suman.
Siya yung nagkulit sa akin. Pero kasi, alam naman nila kasi kung ganong kahirap, alam nila yon eh. Pero sabi nila, parang iba kasi eh. Sabi niya, Tito J, iba kasi kapag tayo yung gumagawa, meron siyang kiliti, alam mo yun, na magkakasama kami, na tulong-tulong kami, tapos iba yung bonding ng pamilya kapag gumagawa kayo ng suman na sabay-sabay. Parang gano'n.
Sarap.
That's my friend J.J. Meneses and his stories of making suman. They had to recreate the entire thing from memory. It's not really the food, but it's the process of making suman together. It's the process of consuming suman together. It's the memories that would keep them together. So what can you say about JJ's experience in recreating the suman of his mother?
Well, that's an amazing take on the suman actually. And as I mentioned earlier, my Lola was the only one who used to make it in our family, and it brings back, very heartwarming memories. It's actually all the Lolas who would make all these traditional kakanin, and hopefully they can be passed down to the next generation.
How about you, Malu?
It brings the community, it brings families, it brings friends together, and I think that's very important. So it's not just cooking it or the procedure of cooking it, it's the happiness and the warmth of every person. So I think that's very important to share those information, and not just to our kids, but to other people, just like what we're doing.
Okay, Jay.
Well, kind of listening to Dr. JJ, he really did touch my heart, bringing back memories. I was thinking maybe I would like to start a tradition with my families and my grandkids, because I like to share something that I really love and I like to my grandkids. And that is something that I would like them to remember me So he did actually brought up a good point about, sharing treasure, like the kakanin to your family.
I like that idea, Jay. So it's not really about being in the
I know,
Philippines,
I'm
but
gonna cry.
transporting. So that's it for our kakanin, and I hope you ladies enjoyed making your bibingka, Jay, your sinukmani, Sheila, and puto by Malu, kakanin from the Philippines.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Rika.
you. Yes.
Hi, I'm your friendly storyteller, Lois. May I know your name?
Skylar.
Hi, Skylar and
Madison.
Hi, Skylar and Madison. So today, I'm going to tell you one of the most popular story for children, the story of Cinderella. Do you know the story of Cinderella?
Yeah, I love it!
Yes, but this one is a different version of Cinderella. It is the Filipino version of the story. It is known here as the story of Mariang Kalabasa. You know what kalabasa is?
Cinderella.
A kalabasa is a squash, like this, oh. And so when you translate Mariang Kalabasa in English, it is Mary the Squash Lady. Okay? In this story, you will see how the king will test the intelligence of Mariang Kalabasa. Are you ready? Are you excited?
Yeah!
Okay, great. Now, let's start the story. One day, King Pilipo announced to the people in the palace that he is looking for a lady to marry. Someone who is bright and shall serve as her queen amidst varied reactions from his constituents. The king said, "Sawa na ako sa palasyo, dito sa gubat ang gusto ko. Makatagpo ng dalagang ituturing na asawa." And the constituents replied, "Baka lokohin lang kayo ng isang walang kwentang tao. Kapag kayo'y naikasal, hugot-huti ng yaman nyo. Kung gusto nyong mag-anunsyo sa internet at mga dyaryo, the king is looking for a queen, na para bang sang beauty queen." The king answered, "Ang gusto ko, may talino, may malasakit sa tao, siyang magiging partner ko, siyang magiging partner ko, siyang magiging partner ko, mamumuno sa palasyo." The people cried, "Aba, hari kong Pilipo, utak mo ba'y nasa siko? Wala ka nang mahahanap, lalo na dito sa gubat." And then King Pilipo went to the rural community because he heard about an interesting lady who's fond of planting squash. The lady's name is Mariang Kalabasa. The king met Maria and fell in love with her. And Maria fell in love with the King Pilipo too. The next day, King Pilipo invited Maria to the palace. He asked Maria to bring him a squash the size of a clay pot, like this, a clay pot. Everyone in the palace just laughed. And then the king said, "Kung ikaw nga'y matalino, kalabasa, siyang gusto ko. Pagkasyahin mo sa isang palayo, sukat ang pagkakahubo. And then the people laughed and said, may natawa, may nangiti, at si Maria'y pinauwi. Paglipas ng ilang araw, paglipas ng ilang buwan, walang balita kay Maria. Maria went home. After a week, Maria returned to the palace and she showed a squash inside a clay pot. The king was surprised and amazed, but he still wanted to test the intelligence of Maria. As a first test, King Filippo presented a small bird and 7 plates to Maria. He said, ibong pipit, 7 pinggan, ang iluluto mo sa tanghalian. Bawat pinggan ay pupunuin, bawat pinggan ay pupunuin, bawat pinggan ay pupunuin, ng palasyo'y makakain. And then the constituents replied, aba, kung magagawa mo ang hiling, ika'y tiyak na sasambahin. Ang gutom sa buong mundo ay mapapawi ng gusto. And then Maria requested, iisa lang ang pakisuyo para ako ay makapagluto. Karayom ko'y gawin nyo, mga kawali at kaldero. Again, the king was surprised when Maria said, I can do what you want, but make my small needle into cooking pots and pans. Everyone at the palace just laughed. The king said, I would like to test your intelligence for the second time. Sa lakas ng isang bagyo, niyanig ang buong palasyo. Dali, dali, inyong dalian, mga alon ay inyong dalian. The people were surprised. Tatalian daw ang alon. Imposible yatang misyon. Madaling talian ang tiyan, lalo't sanay nang kumalam. King Filippo wanted Maria to tie the waves that shook the palace. Maria challenged the king to use the sand to tie the waves. Everyone at the palace just laughed. The king was again impressed, but he challenged Maria again to another test. The king said, I am thirsty. I want you to give me a bottle of milk. Milk coming from a male carabao. Everyone in the palace got surprised and responded, oh, that's impossible. How would you do it, Maria? Maria whispered, that is easy to do, my king, but not for this moment. I can do it now because I just remember that my father is about to give birth. Maria went out of the palace. King Filippo followed her and offered to marry her. And the two got married. To the delight of the people in the palace and the community, King Filippo at hinamon ni Filippo ang dalagang matalino. Kasalang siyang inilako, pangarap na anak ay 10. That's the Filipino version of Cinderella, the story of Mariang Calabasa. Now, Skylar and Madison, do you like the story?
Yeah.
With that, what are your reaction about the Filipino version of the story? And how is it different from the one that you know?
He doesn't look for the lady with the black. That's right for the just right for the glass slipper. There's no fairy that like gives her a carriage or no clock striking midnight. No, not that. None of that.
None of that. What was your favorite part of this story? The one with Maria the Squash Lady.
The marriage part.
The marriage part. Okay. How about Madison?
Maria gets a challenge.
Where he got the challenge. Very good. If you were Maria the Squash Lady, would you think you will be able to do those challenges?
I don't think I would be able to do the challenges.
How about Madison?
I'll accept 2 of the challenges.
You still accept the challenges, right? And still try to do it. So it was really her wit and her brains that was able to make her do those challenges. Okay, so if you have some messages to Lois, now's the time.
Thank you, and you're great.
Thank you also, Skylar and Madison, and I hope to see you again next time.
You're very good.
Sige po, pwede po ba kayong magpakilala at gano'n na po kayo katagal gumagawa ng
Ako po si Lenny Ilyasar, nakatira po ako dito sa White Pearl. Ako po matagal-tagal na rin pong gumawa nito. Kailan po nung mga lumaki na po yung mga anak ko, ay medyo napatigil po dahil napasok na sila. Tapos nung nagkatrabaho na, medyo tigil na muna at maglalaban naman ng mga uniform. Ay nung nag-lockdown po, kalimitan po ay work from home na. Hindi minsan nakakainip din. Kumuha po ako ng ganito. Pero dati po talagang siguro may 20 years din akong diretso talaga ng paglala. Tapos napatigil na po yun ng mga 5 years. Tapos nito lang po uling lockdown, mga April po.
Paano po kayo nagsimula sa paggawa?
Dati nakita ko nung nasa Gumborsa pa kami nakatira, yung mga babae po doon, kapitbahay ko. Nung panahong yun ay isa pang anak ko. Ganito po nakita ko nga, mayroon silang ganitong, tawag daw nito ay ipitan. Ito naman ay hulmahan. Yun po ang ginagawa ng mga babae. Ako po naman ay siguro ganyan yung anak ko, kaliit pa nung panahon yun. Sabi ko, ano yung ginagawa niyo? Dahil hindi ko rin alam yun eh. Sabi, naggagawa kami ng ganito sombrero. Sabi ko, gusto ko rin matuto. Sabi, mahirap to pag sa umpisa. Kasi nakasakit ng mata, nakasakit ng ulo. Kasi yung titig na titig para po bang nakaliyo. Nung mayroon na pong pagtulog po yung bata ko, di ako'y nagkalpot-kalpot. Sabi ko, talaga pong mahirap. Talagang naliliyo ako, higa. Baliktad po ako sa sahig. Tapos pag medyo nawala na po ang liyo ko, bangon uli, kalpot uli. Hindi ko naman makita, kahit nung panahon yun, hindi pa ako nagsasalamin. Malinaw pag mata ko, siguro mga 22 pa lang ako noon. Tapos may mga nadaan na kapitbahay, di ako'y tinatawanan. Sabi, naku, baka maduling ka na dyan. Sige lang, tiyaga lang. Tapos yun, sa madaling nabuo ko na ito sa 2 araw at kalahati. Natapos ko ito.
Marami pa nga akong gumagawa.
Sa ngayon po, nitong nag-lockdown naman, medyo dumami-dami. Kasi yung gaya naman nagtatrabaho po sa mga restaurant, di marami pong medyo nagsara, nagbawas ng tao. Bumabalik na po ulit sila sa paglalala. Kaya sa ngayon po, medyo, medyo dumami-dami na. Noon, kung sino lang may gusto.
Kunwari po ako, gusto ko pong matuto. Paano po ako magsisimula? Kanina po ako lalapit?
Unang-una po bibili ka nitong ipitan, bibili ka po ng hulmahan, tsaka itong buntal. Kasi ito talaga ang una mong sasadyain para mag-aral ka. Ngayon po, pagka pwede kang magtanong sa, gusto mo mag-aral, pwede kang lumapit sa akin. Ganyan lang ang ginawa ko rin noon Okay, napatingin-tingin lang ako doon sa mga nalalang kapitbahay. Pag determinado ka rin naman talaga matuto, kahit hirapan ka sa umpisa. Dahil nung una po talagang 8 araw ito bago ko nabuo, nung ako'y nag-aral pa. Tsaka ang ang butas-butas niya, medyo hindi pantay-pantay. Ay ganun lang daw talaga dahil umpisa tapos yun, uli ako. Sige, ulit ng ulit, practice ng practice hanggang sa natuto na po.
Ano na lang po yung siguro mensahe niyo po sa mga gustong matuto o merong nagkakaroon ng interest sa paggawa?
Ay siguro ang masasabi ko sa mga kababaihan na kahit hindi naman Tagalog ba lang o yung nakakita ng ganito, nakakaalam, kung gusto talagang matuto, una-una talaga ay tiyaga lang. Tiyaga lang talaga, wala itong, tsaka hindi ito dinadaan sa bilis. Ang pagkayari mo para makabuo ng ganito talaga sa tiyaga lang ng upo. Kasi meron akong kasabay din ng ganito taga Maoba, hindi siya nagtiyaga, hindi siya natuto. Kaya talagang tiyaga lang muna talaga para matuto.
Yung parang bugso ng damdamin ba dahil akala mo ika'y nasasaya. Pero diba, akala mo lang pala hindi na umiilaw ang telepono, hindi na kumikislap ang pangalan mo. Naglaho na sa ating bokabularyo ang salitang tayo. Bumitaw sa walang pinanghahawakan kaysa manatiling kumapit at sa tuloy masaktan. Hindi pa ba sapat aking pinaramdam? Kulang pa ba giliw? Nagkulang saan ba? Giliw, ano nangyari? Sabi mo ba naman hindi mo ko nakakawalan? Bakit tila ikaw ang kumawala at ako itong nawalan? Naiwan, nasaktan, nalunod sa katangahan. Hindi na magandang gising sa umaga, wala na babating magpapasaya. Hindi naman ganitong pinangako mo, hanggang dito na lang tayo. Bumitaw sa walang pinanghahawakan kaysa manatiling kumapit at sa tuloy masaktan. Hindi pa ba sapat aking pinaramdam? Kulang pa ba giliw? Kulang pa ba ang araw na pagpapaalala na ako'y dito lang, hindi ka iiwan? Kulang pa ba saan ba? Giliw, sabihin mo lang, ako pa ba'y maghihintay?
Hi friends, my name is Rooster and I am here to teach you a Filipino game called Sungka. So it is a two-player game played using a Sungka board and shells, where the main objective of the game is to have the most number of shells. In the US, this game is called Mancala, and in other countries it is called Kongkak. Also in the Philippines, there are different ways on how to play this game, but the objective is still the same, which is to have the most number of shells. Okay, so let's start. So the materials needed for this game are a sungka board and shells. So a sungka board will have 14 holes, 7 per row, and there's going to be one big hole per side. And for the shells, you're going to need exactly 98 shells because you're going to put 7 in each of the small holes of the sungka board. So the player who will go first will be determined by a game of rock, paper, scissors. For this game, you need to keep in mind that the 7 small holes in front of you would be called your house, and the bigger hole on your left would be called your head. Also, the movement of the game would always be clockwise. So for the first player, you will start by picking a house from your side to empty. Then you will place 1 shell per house, moving clockwise. Also, keep in mind that you're not supposed to put a shell in your opponent's head. You're only supposed to put a shell on your head. So if the last piece lands on a house that still have shells in it, then you will get the shells from that house and still continue your turn. Also, if the last piece of the shell landed exactly on your head, then you get to choose again from your side which house you would want to empty, and your turn will still continue. So if the last piece landed on an empty house, then your turn is over. But if it landed in an empty house on your side, then you get to place your shell and the shell that is on the opposite side to your head, and ending your turn. But if there are no shells on the opposite side, your turn will just end. The game will end once there are no more shells in all of the houses, and the player with the most number of shells wins. So Sungka is all about strategy. Your victory will depend on the first move of your turn. So that's how you play Sungka, and have fun playing.
Chicas primero.
I know you are, but what am I?
Old fashioned.
You just go first.
Very well.
Can you go any slower? Is that slow enough for you?
Alright. It's your turn.
Oh, God, finally. What the hell is all this?
What? Dude, you're cheating. Come on, man. You can't do that. No? This is not fair.
GG's. Better luck next time. What just happened?
He is known as the champion of agricultural workers' rights in the West Coast in the mid-1900s. One of the fathers of the West Coast labor movement, a key figure of the Asian American movement, Larry Tulay Itliong. He is a man of humble beginnings. He only finished 6th grade before he moved from his native province Pangasinan to the United States in 1929. This didn't stop him from learning multiple languages, such as Filipino, Cantonese, Spanish, and English, or from teaching himself law, or from later being inducted as a union representative or elected in executive positions in labor union and welfare organizations. Itliong worked in farms all over the USA, in Alaska, Washington, California, Montana, and South Dakota. While working in Alaska, he helped establish the Alaska Cannery Workers Union. In this very same cannery, he lost 3 fingers in an accident, giving him the moniker 7 Fingers. He served as a messman on a U.S. Army transport ship during World War II. After the war, Itliong settled in Stockton, California. In 1948, he, along with other Filipinos such as Rudy Delvo, Nidsalvas Philip Veracruz, and Ernesto Mangawang, would participate in the first major agricultural strike after the Second World War in 1948 Asparagus Strike. In 1953, Itliong was able to serve as a union representative of the International Longshore and Warehouse Union Local 37 in Seattle, and then as vice president. He also served as a secretary to the Filipino community in Stockton. In 1956, Larry Itliong establishes the Filipino Farm Labor Union in California. The year after, he was elected president of the Filipino Voters League. In 1965, while leading the AFL-CIO Union's Agricultural Workers Organizing Committee, the committee voted to strike against Coachella Valley grape growers. The effort ended in raising the wages of the workers. Later that year, the committee voted against striking grape growers once again, this time in Delano, California. The Agricultural Workers Organizing Committee and National Farm Workers Association ended up merging to form United Workers, a decision that Itliong met with skepticism. He was worried that Mexican labor rights will be priority at the expense of the Filipinos. Regardless, Itliong served as its assistant director under Cesar Chavez and was eventually appointed as the national boycott coordinator. Differences and disagreements in governance, as well as the lack of initiatives to support aging Filipinos, led him to resign. Despite his resignation to the union, he still continued to support efforts in organized labor movements. He was also passionate in helping the retired Delano farm workers as he and Veracruz helped build a retirement facility, the Agbayani village, for the union farm workers. Despite the massive contributions of Itliong and other fellow Filipinos in the history of organized labor movements in America, they were rarely ever mentioned in comparison to Chavez and the United Farm Workers. However, public art memorials honoring Itliong and other prominent Filipino names such as Philip Veracruz were later mounted in different locations such as Los Angeles' Filipino Town and California State University. The LA County also instated October 25th as Larry Itliong Day.
What a sad ending.
Larry Itliong's group won their battle.
I'm talking about Moncario's frustrations.
Oh, well, I consider him the antagonist, so the opposing character of the story. Lola Te and Lola Pulding, on the other hand, are the protagonists, the leading characters, and they lived happily ever after.
It seems that most of those stories in the Philippines end happily.
Well, if that's the case, we must also end our talk with Lola Te in a very pleasant manner.
You know, come to think of it, this all started with our assignment to find out what costume to wear.
Yeah, as I have understood it, they call it palabas and not paloob.
You know, I remember when I was in the Philippines, Dago would bully me, but after he would ask me, let's watch Palabas in the movie house. We would peek at a hole in the wall of the movie house, enjoying every moment of an action movie of Fernando Poe Jr. Right when I was about to leave the Philippines, Dago apologized. And he told me how he realized there is something inside of a person that is penloob, that must be appreciated.
And that's the same with both of us, Kuya Earl.
That's nice. You know, since I'm your older brother and all.
Well, what have we realized? Behind the costumes are the stories on how the Pins people love their country, the nature, and their kapwa. In times of many challenges, they still rise up collectively and be vigilant.
Well, that's resiliency at work. Bangon! Tindor!
The ideas and values of our kababayan are expressed creatively in the forms of games, songs, and even crafts.
Well, Lola J keeps on saying they have to fill up the spaces from the time they're young until they get older.
Yeah, and that's why they call the East Silangan and the West Kanluran. Silangan, meaning to be born where the sun rises and brings in life, while on the other hand, Kanluran refers to getting older and gaining more wisdom. And that's why the young respect the older people.
Well, now I appreciate why they keep on using po. Stands for poon. With wisdom and power, they bear the culture like God.
The same with the use of bahalana. As mentioned by Lola Te, bahala from the word batala. Let our God give us the guidance.
And wherever Pinks goes, as long as they embrace their culture, they would excel. I mean, that's the story of the first Pinks in New Orleans, in the St. Louis World Fair. In Hawaii, those are the lights of Larry Itliong.
Yep, they keep on struggling and dreaming for a better life.
Well, a life in harmony with nature in the image of the great God.
That's why a dream is pangarap, panghinaharap for the future.
Well, what should we do next? I mean, we're done with our homework.
Wait, I mean, come on. We keep on talking. Meanwhile, our Lola Te is just in front of us, silently watching.
Oh, mga apo! Earl, Trixie! I'm glad you've learned a lot!
Thanks a lot too, Lola Te, for not giving up.
Of course, mga apos! Habang may buhay, may pag-asa!
Yes, Lola. We'll always keep that in our heart and in our mind. May pag-asa.
Yes, it should be in words and in deeds. If we ourselves don't act, then who will? If we don't act today, then when should we act? From God, we ask for mercy. But in our hands, we weave our faith. Unity comes with humility.
We'll visit you there in the Philippines soon, Lola.
Very soon, we promise.
Lola.
Lola Te.
From the story of Rizal to Pansit and Pandesal, I know. From Terno, Bakia, Baston, Kababayang, Larit, Lyong, I know. I know from Hawaii's warm beaches and the New Orleans richness, from St. Louis Expo to the Rocky Colorado, that our history has been fashioned with our patriotic passion and love for our motherland state in this home that we call the USA. 'Cause by knowing our roots, we are taking the right route. Pearl of the East down south, Pinoy people singing proud. 'Cause by knowing our roots, we are taking the right route. Pearl of the East down south, Pinoy people singing proud. Pinoy people singing proud.
It's the last thing I remember from when I was a child. I had to say goodbye to a playmate who often bullied me. I told him, I'm going to America.
Who was that boy? Dagon! Your playmate! 3, 2, 1. And then Okay, let's do that with
Okay. So happy face, happy, so happy, sad. Surprise, mad. At saka mo forward.
Okay.
Para magulat. Yan, okay.
I'm scared. I wasn't expecting that.
But that guy loves you more than you love him too. With purple. Sorry. Sorry.
Action. And alarm. Next one.
Alex, is that your laundry, Alex? I'm sorry.
You have to spit water everywhere. It's your turn.
cry. Oh my God.
Always love you with no reservation. I love you and all your perfect imperfection.